All right. Welcome everyone to this Monday live stream with Tradeify Crypto. Once again, is me, Jonathan. Jonathan, what? How do I can't even pronounce my own name. What? Ayush, how's it going, my man? We got Boris coming on soon as well.
Yeah, excited for the Monday macros with Boris.
Yeah. And look at this! Got new merchandise. Got that Tradeify logo on, looking good. But you know what? Like I did it. Okay, so if anyone, any Americans are watching, I love you all, right? Like I love you all. It's nothing personal. But usually when I order a hoodie like this, I order extra large, right? But considering this was ordered from America, I would probably have to go with a small because this thing is huge. Oh my god, it looks like a robe. Oh my god, it goes down to my knees. This one's big.
So comfortable.
It looks good on camera though, because I can kind of like hold the back of it, like make it tight. All right, Ayush. Yeah, I want to see your hoodie. Let me see that. Show us.
What?
Come on, show it. Show me what you're rocking. Yeah. Look at that. Nice. Look at that. Beautiful. Man, I only got look at this. I got Tradeify on my arm as well. So it's Tradeify.
Oh, I have on my back. On the back.
Nice. That's what we want to see. When you need to flip the camera. I want to see your back. All right. Okay, where I haven't even opened the chat. I mean, it's Monday. It's such a slow Monday today. You know, I woke up and went back to sleep. That's how this Monday started. Actually, no, I didn't. I woke up and then I kind of rolled out of bed, rolled down the stairs. Anyway. Anyone making any money today?
It's my job.
Huh?
Jonathan, I really like your glasses.
Thank you a lot. Wow, your microphone is horrible. Do you have your laptop microphone? Yeah, I don't think that's one that was working. I don't. No, that's not working. It sounds like you live in a Coca-Cola can right now. Yeah.
Wait, what about now?
It's still a lot of echo. This is why you gotta come on early, man, so you can check all of this. Yeah. Poor Roman.
All right, wait, I'll switch to my installation. Is this better?
Yeah.
How's that?
Let's see. Say something.
Am I better than the wireless micro?
Yeah, this one's better, I guess. But now there's an echo in my voice. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm in an office space and the room has echoes.
Boris, what happened to your mic? The Rode mic you bought?
You're saying it's not working well. It's right here.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
I just switched to the wireless mic, the Rode.
Can you blow some air on your mic?
Tap on it. Let's see if it works. If you tap on it.
No.
It's not working?
No, it works. I can hear it.
No.
I can hear it.
What about now? No. But it's showing me that the audio source.
Oh, are you guys deaf? Like, try again. Could you like, maybe you can put it very close to your mouth, like almost like you're making out with it.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, that's it's
Yeah,
working.
yeah.
It's working. You gotta make out to the mic, man. Not make out to Mike. Like we don't want to make out with Mike, but the mic. Let's separate the two things.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I was hitting mic as well.
Yeah. All right. What are we looking at? I can't find my mouse. I got too many screens. Okay, here it is. Here it is. That's the screen. So Bitcoin broke below 72.5K. We are trading at levels not seen since when? Since almost all the way back in the end of March. So we are testing a key support area right now. I am happy to announce that my short position on Bitcoin is looking very, very good. And my long position on Hype is also looking very, very good. Which one? Where did I wonder which chart I was using for this. I can't remember. Where's Hype? Here. So we entered. That's not even this one. Where, like, which one did I can't find the chart? So many hypes out there. Was it Bybit? Or was it Bybit Perpetual, maybe? Well, some of them. One of these. We entered Hype last week, I remember. And this one is just flying, looking very, very good. I'm finally back to break even on the Tradeify crypto account. Hopefully we can see some more nice trades on that one. Hopefully pass an evaluation. All right, so let's see. I was really only going to jump on here to make sure that everyone's connections are set up. So I'm going to be jumping off here. I'm going to give it up to Boris. He's going to be covering some of the... actually, I'm not really sure what you're going to be covering, but you are going to be covering something, and I'm going to be watching. And Ayush is hopefully not going to be disconnecting.
Yeah.
All right, just give me a tag on WhatsApp if anyone, and if you need anything, because the Slack, for some reason my notification on Slack is not working as they should today. Okay, see you guys later.
All right, see. Hey, Ayush, how are you?
I'm doing great.
Is my voice coming in good?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Just a little bit echo, but I'm fine.
So Macro Mondays, and I want to talk about, the whole macro picture for crypto. But I want to start off with like a big news article because I think, this is very concerning because U.S. says it seized about 1 billion in Iranian crypto. So it's kind of like geopolitical news, and obviously this ties into the macro, right? So U.S. says it seized about 1 billion in Iranian crypto as pressure campaign expands, and so they're calling this Operation Economic Fury, which is pretty crazy. Now, my question is, it's like, how are they able to seize $1 billion in Bitcoin? Did they like hack a bunch of wallets? Like, how did they do it? So this is maybe, I was talking to some people, maybe this is why we're seeing this downward pressure in Bitcoin, because first of all, how can a government just take a supposedly decentralized currency from a country? Like, and I'm not trying to be political here, it's just the $1 billion, that's a huge amount of money. And it seems like I don't know, like maybe we need to get a real cryptographer on here, but did they like crack the keys of the Iranian wallets? Like, how do they do it? I don't know, but I just wanted to start out with this because, they said U.S. authorities had grabbed the wallets. How did they grab the wallets? Like, how? How did they do it? So this is a big article. And I was actually talking about this with just regular people who know nothing about crypto. They're like, yeah, what's happening with Bitcoin? I'm like, I don't know, nothing's really happening. Then, then I realized, this was a big news event. This was mainstream news. So I think this is like the big news of the week for Bitcoin, for crypto. I think this is why we're seeing downwards pressure in Bitcoin, especially today. And so I just wanted to go over this first because this is big. Like, this is big news. Like, because I don't know the last time the U.S. seized this much cryptocurrency from like a sovereign nation. So this makes me concerned about I mean, how secure is the Bitcoin network or the cryptography behind it if you know, the US or some other country can launch Operation Economic Fury and then they can just take the wallets, grab the wallets? Like, how do they do it? But what are your thoughts on this? Like, imagine if Trump goes to India and he just takes all of India's Bitcoin. Like, I don't know how much they have, but I think it's a significant amount, like probably over 1 billion. Like, do you have any thoughts on this, Ayush?
I mean,
do you think I'm making a big deal
happens,
about this? Yeah.
Obviously,
I think
there will be
deal.
no trusted exchange left with trust. You know, that crypto exchange and the currencies transferring money from here to there easily is actually easiest and trusted way in the ecosystem. And if government is involving in all of this thing, then I don't know where and what we'll do with the like Bitcoin and stuff. I to go back to old days and deal with the silver and gold coins transaction. Is it? Yeah, you're on mute, Boris.
Yeah, that is concerning because, like you said, it's like kind of hard to go into a country and take their gold reserves. But if the U.S. is able to somehow digitally or like online, using whatever method they use to grab the wallets and steal reserves, well, not steal, but grab them or whatever they worded. I guess it's
controlling.
Yeah, so it's like how secure is my own Bitcoin wallet? Like, maybe if Mr. Trump or whoever is in the U.S. government really wanted my Bitcoin, they could go and somehow get it. I mean, really. So let's forget the geopolitics for a second and like zoom out to the macro picture on the technical level. So what I have here is Bitcoin on the monthly time frame, and I wanted to point out because last week we covered the weekly time frame. Now I wanted to cover the monthly because we just closed a new month yesterday. Obviously, it's June 1st of 2026. So we have a new monthly candle on Bitcoin, and one bullish thing is that we did close above the monthly 55 exponential moving average. Now, I kind of mapped this out again, like similar to how I did with the weekly time frame on Bitcoin the other week. And basically, whenever Bitcoin,
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. So I was showing this chart of Bitcoin on the monthly time frame. So you haven't missed anything yet. Just note that this green-red ribbon, this is the 55 exponential moving average on Bitcoin, and it tends to, be a reliable predictor of Bitcoin's like bullish and bearish cycles, right? So let's go through some examples. So essentially, whenever Bitcoin stays above the 55 exponential, this leads to some very big moves. So in 2013, this led to a move of 20,000%. So it's very similar to the theory of the 21 EMA on the weekly, except it's the 55 EMA on the monthly, if that makes sense. So kind of like mathematically, it's almost the same, but not quite. And then you can see like it acts as support, right? So whenever Bitcoin can hold this moving average, it basically leads to larger moves. So once Bitcoin was able to hold it, we went again to from this big rally from like basically Bitcoin 250 to Bitcoin 20,000. And again, we're talking about monthly time frame. So monthly is like 30 days of data. So this is like very like, long-term stuff. So this is like macro kind of crypto investing. Yeah. And then you can see here, I'll remove this. once again, it held the 55 EMA like barely in 2019. And again, this led to a move of 80%. And once again, we bounced off of it. Even during the COVID crash, very important, like we wicked below it, but we're able to recover. Now, my point with this is that if we lose it, this does lead to significant moves down. So when we lost this moving average in June of 2022, this led to basically a move down of 65% from Bitcoin 22,000 to Bitcoin 13,000. So that's like, so it's actually during the FTX crash, funnily enough, or not. I mean, that's not funny, but just interestingly enough to point out. And then once we recovered, this basically led to Bitcoin's bull run to the all-time highs, from basically 25,000, 20,000 to what was the high? 126,000. So a 325% move. Yeah. Now my point here is that so far we're still holding on to it. So the 55 EMA is currently coming in at around $64,000. So for me, on a monthly level, like if I'm investing in Bitcoin on a monthly, or even I suppose you can trade it on a monthly as well, like for really real long-term swing trades. As long as this level holds, I have to be on the monthly. I'm going to be bullish on Bitcoin. But that doesn't mean I'm bullish on Bitcoin on the daily or even the weekly. It just means on the monthly, I just cannot be bearish on Bitcoin until it breaks this level. So for now, I actually remain like long-term, like I'm talking about like 6 months, 12 months down the line, like as long as it's holding this level, that there's still a chance.
So bullish on monthly time frame because we're above the band, and we might take the unexpected support at the 55 band. It's your favorite EMA which you use on higher time frame.
Exactly, and I think you've noticed I even use this on the weekly, on the daily, even on the 4 hour. It's pretty useful, just more sensitive. But like when you start to zoom out, the 55 EMA really acts as a very reliable marker of bullish and bearish cycles in Bitcoin. Now, again, it's not perfect. Like you should probably combine it with some other like confirmation indicator, maybe like the true strength index or maybe the RSI. But I just want to keep it simple for now and just point out we're above this ribbon, and this is what's important for Bitcoin. So I wanted to cover Bitcoin. The big news about US seizing the Iranian Bitcoin reserves or assets, and also go over Bitcoin on the monthly because we just closed a new month. So that's going to lead me to talk about Ethereum on the monthly. And what's happening on Ethereum is actually very, very different because Ethereum on the monthly time frame is actually below the 55 exponential moving average. So to me, this tells me that, and we don't have as much history on Ethereum because, well, Ethereum was launched in what, like 2015? Yeah. So we don't have as much history, but still, it tends to be pretty reliable as a marker of Ethereum's bull and bear cycles. We did have like some fake outs here in 2022 and also in 2025, but right now you can see like since we broke below it in 2026, we're still just unable to get above like the $2,300 level. And like you can see here, just zooming in, we tried these wicks, just tried testing this ribbon on the monthly, and we keep getting rejected. So this was rejection number 1 in March, rejection 2 in April, rejection number 3 in May. So now I think what's going to happen is we just keep getting rejected. So I think on the 3rd rejection, it's like more likely that on the next monthly candle, this is going to be lower. So I think we could go as low as 1,300 on Ethereum, maybe test this wick from April of 2025, and maybe even as low as, believe it or not, as low as 1,000 psychological will be my target for Ethereum.
Yeah.
Yeah, now I'm thinking like perhaps this could be a good what do you call it? A relative value trade, like long Bitcoin, go short Ethereum, because I'm thinking like with low leverage, of course, because we're talking about monthly timeframes. But you know what, a good strategy could be longing Bitcoin, going short on Ethereum. It's very unlikely that Ethereum will outperform Bitcoin. And if Bitcoin goes down, Ethereum will go down even more. So this is gonna basically be like a good hedge trade, in my opinion. Again, not financial advice, it's just my view and how I basically trade the markets. So moving on, I also wanted to talk about, I want to look at Solana, but I don't think there's enough history, but let's just check.
Boris, before we move forward, I think someone have a question for you.
Yeah.
They're asking, how does it feed into the 4-year cycle narrative? Is it dead? And I can't understand what he's asking.
Okay, I understand. Okay, so the 4-year cycle theory. Yeah, I know a lot of people are into the 4-year cycle theory on Bitcoin. For me, I don't. You know, the thing is, like, Bitcoin doesn't have that much history compared to like the S&P 500 or the Nasdaq or gold or silver. So the 4-year, the 4-year cycle theory, I think is inconclusive because we just don't have enough data. So to be honest, I don't agree with the analysts or the traders that are going with the 4-year cycle theory. Like, and maybe there's some people even on our team who believe in that. And I think it's okay to disagree. I'm just using my own analysis. I think, I don't believe in it. I don't think it's true. I don't know what else to say. But it doesn't mean I'm like the 4-year cycle could become like a 6-year cycle or an 8-year cycle. And I forgot, we had a special guest on like a couple of months ago who was basically saying Bitcoin will not make a new all-time high for like another 10 years. So perhaps the 4-year cycle theory will become a 10-year cycle or something as Bitcoin matures, as it becomes more liquid, as we get more ETF flows and more institutional adoption. So yeah, I hope that answers that person's question. And were there any other questions?
His reply, I think he got that. I think, no more questions.
Okay.
And he's saying, but the logic does make sense of the 4.
Yeah, I mean, everything like logically makes sense.
Makes sense.
Like
that there you have your answer, David. And all that also applies to the same thing. The same thing people use on lower time frame, and it actually works, but not always. So it's always better to use your own analysis.
I'm saying logic. I'm not saying I like completely disagree with the 4-year cycle theory. Just I don't use it for my own analysis or for my own views on Bitcoin. So I'm sure it's logical, like, because I know a lot of people, a lot of analysts, a lot of traders, a lot of professional investors talk about it. I'm not saying it's like, it's just a theory, right? So you don't have to like agree with the theory. You can just say it's a theory, and it's an interesting one, but one that all theories don't become facts, right? Is that how the scientific method works? Yeah. Okay, so next, what I want to talk about is,
says he's saying, sorry, meant your logic makes sense, not the theory.
So he's saying I make sense.
Yeah, you make sense.
Of course, that makes sense. I'm
happy.
I've been in this market for many years. Everything I say has to make sense. Otherwise, why would they have me on this on Tradeify crypto? That don't make sense.
Yeah,
please, guys, if something doesn't make sense for me, you just ask, and I'll knock some sense into you guys, all right?
We are sense makers,
So I want to talk about hype, because hype is doing something different from the rest of the market. I think you guys were discussing it for a bit earlier. So hype is making new all-time highs. I was discussing it last week. This week it's already up 15%. So this would have been like a very easy kind of a breakout trade you can take. So basically, once an asset makes a new high, like it retested the previous high at $60, and now we're at $74. So this is like a classic, what I call break. Let me draw this out. So basically, break, pullback, and then continuation kind of setup. I'm sure you use this kind of setup on your lower timeframes. I'm just curious.
That's exactly I use, because I always like to wait for some confirmation back into retrace into like converting the supply zone into resistance. So yeah, that's the best way to use previous key swing points in order to get another entry. So I use it on lower time frame.
Yeah, and now I'm just zooming in on this on the daily time frame, just so it makes more sense. Like you get a clear view. So we got a clear break above on the daily time frame above this level, and we had pretty nice, not perfect retest, and then this is better continuation upward. So I think maybe, in terms of targets for hype, maybe $100 is a good like psychological number. So that's what I'm thinking for hype coin. And then also I want to cover actually TRX, because we were talking that TRX, because it's another like major coin in the top 10, and it's doing something different from the rest of the altcoin market. It is not making new all-time highs, but it did attempt to break out the prior week, and now it is starting to like a false breakout, right? Like we wicked above it, and now we're starting to come down. So just looking at this on the daily time frame, I think we have some more work to do on TRX before this can go on to new highs. So we need to get a weekly closure above the 0.365 level. So those are my thoughts on Tron. Now I want to go into another metric, macro metric called, again, USD dominance. I think I covered this the other week.
Yeah.
But I want to cover it on the monthly time frame, not the weekly time frame this time. So again, I want to reiterate this. When USD dominance is falling, that is bullish for altcoins. And when USD dominance is rising, that is bearish for altcoins. And now what we see on the monthly time frame is that, USD dominance is in an uptrend, right? So that basically means there's more capital flowing into the stability of stablecoins like USDT. And basically that's pulling capital away from altcoins. That's basically the theory. And I just want to point out that on the monthly, like, we are still pretty elevated. And if we start breaking above like the 8% level, I think there might be even more of a capital outflow from the altcoin market. Now also, I guess I want to go into Bitcoin dominance. Well, it's just too many lines here. Hold on. Let me clear this up a bit. Okay, Bitcoin dominance 101. So again, I want to review this on a monthly time frame. Bitcoin dominance 101. When Bitcoin dominance goes up, that is bullish for Bitcoin, bearish for alts. And when Bitcoin dominance goes down, that is bearish for Bitcoin, bullish for alts. Now, on the monthly time frame, we are technically in an uptrend, although Bitcoin dominance has like lost momentum here. So
what does that mean when it's in range?
So in theory, when Bitcoin dominance starts ranging, that should be actually a good sign for altcoins, because that could mean instead of all the crypto capital being in Bitcoin, this is going to actually go into altcoins. So yeah, I should actually add another box here where I talk about what happens when Bitcoin dominance goes sideways. That's actually could be a good sign that like perhaps altcoins are in an accumulation range. At least that's my theory. So great question, Ayush. And you know, if we look at this on the monthly time frame, again, I covered this on the weekly, but you can see the last time we had an altcoin season is when Bitcoin dominance just completely dropped, right? So it went from essentially 97%, right? And then we started getting all these altcoins, all these new projects, all these ICOs. And this is what led to the first initial alt season in 17 to 2018. And Bitcoin dominance went as low as 35%, right? And again, the second big alt season that we had was in, let's say 2021, right? Yeah, like 2021. And Bitcoin dominance from 70% to as low as 40%. And since then, like Bitcoin dominance is up 50%. So basically that means that Bitcoin has taken the majority of the capital from the altcoin markets. And Bitcoin is still number one, Bitcoin is still king. And yeah, that's why I wanted to review Bitcoin dominance here. Any questions from the audience so far?
I think they are very much okay with whatever you're explaining, so no questions. We are all becoming swing holders, so yeah, all good. All good. Maybe I might ask some questions.
Yeah, as long as you're internet. Yeah, 1 second, because I wanted to cover, before I go into the heat map, I wanted to cover one other thing. Let me just pull it up, and it's actually the macro overview of what we have coming up this week. Like the macro events, I mean, right? So let's see, for this week we have, the most important economic data coming out is on Thursday, not Wednesday. Thursday is going to be a big day. We're going to have initial jobless claims. So yeah, markets are going to be positioning ahead of payrolls, non-farm payrolls. And this is going to be big, especially for you, Ayush, for scalp traders. Friday we have, Oh, that's strange.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, I'm just talking about economic data, so it's not really something I can show graphically, but anyway, Thursday, I'm gonna get into the liquidation maps in a bit, but Friday we have non-farm payrolls, and they're supposed to come in at expected job growth roughly 70K to 85K, and unemployment rate expected around 4.3%. So for me, on the macro level, this is going to be actually pretty big, because this is going to impact what the Fed is going to do with interest rates like longer term later this year. So I think it's like Friday will be the biggest volatility event of the year on the macro level with the non-farm payroll. So if the unemployment rate comes in higher than expected, this actually might be good for the market, because when people lose jobs, it's actually good, because the Fed is gonna start quantitative easing again, in theory. So yeah, that's what you have to watch out for. So basically, if we get soft labor data, or aka weak labor data, that should be in theory bullish for Bitcoin, bullish for NASDAQ, bullish for basically all risk on asset. However, if we get higher than expected job openings, this could be potentially bad. So that's what I'll be watching for myself as a swing trader on Friday. Very important non-farm payrolls. That's going to be, I do believe, 8:30 a.m. on Friday. And then, so those are the key economic events I'm watching this week. Now, let's actually dive into this Bitcoin liquidation map again on the weekly time frame. So you can see here that basically Bitcoin loves playing with these liquidity zones, and this is zoomed out to the monthly time frame. Actually, let me zoom out even further. Let's do 6 months. This is using CoinGlass data. Yeah, so you can see here how we tap this. This is the key point. So, we went as high as $83,000 in May. So we basically tapped this liquidity zone in May, and then from there we just went down. So we keep just pushing through these.
Boris,
yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you, but your chart is actually not fully visible. It's on the right top corner. Can you please zoom out or do something?
Okay. Is it better? Well, let me just refresh it. Hold on.
Yeah. Yeah, control and reset.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so my point is, let me reload this 6 month liquidity. So yeah, basically Bitcoin loves just gravitating to these liquid zones. So the next liquid zone, and do you guys see this? I have to zoom in on the 70K level because it's important, because what's the price right now? Like 72,000. So we're $2,000 away from the 70K level. And if we break the 70K level, the next pocket of liquidity is, guess where? $63,000 or so. And that is where the 55 monthly EMA is coming in. So this is going to be a big area. I think there's going to be a big battle here at the 63K level. This was just going off my memory. This was like an important level back in the 2020 bull cycle, 2021 bull cycle, when Bitcoin reached as high as 69K. So definitely this region is going to be a battle between bulls and bears. And I think we're going to, honestly, we're going to try and tap this level in the coming month. And so basically combining what I said earlier in the stream about the monthly 55 EMA, if we close the month below this liquid zone at 63, 62K, I don't see too many support areas for Bitcoin. So I do think we're going to see those lower targets that some analysts are predicting, like 50K, 40K. Some are even saying 30K. I just think I don't have an exact price target if we lose this level, but I do think we'll go much lower, below 60K. But this hasn't happened yet. We're still at 72. So as long as Bitcoin remains above, let me see this again. Yeah, let me just point this out again. So again, just going back to circle back to my theory, if Bitcoin stays above 63,000, we'll be good for the long term. But if we lose this level on this monthly candle, then it's going to start to look bad. Now zooming out,
you have to. I think you are explaining on your trading view chart, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah. Keep doing this. Okay. Basically, I just wanted to go back to what I was saying in the beginning about the Bitcoin 55 EMA. If we start to lose this level on the monthly time frame, we're going to probably see it drop to, I think 30K might be a target. And again, you can see here, going back to the liquidation maps, there's a lot of synchronicity or confluence here. So you have a lot of orders sitting here at 63,000, 64K or so. So this is going to be big. bigger.
And also
bigger
on the
level.
same level, or their monthly EMAs there as a support.
Yeah. So it's basically falling in line with the Bitcoin 55 monthly.
So usually, let's say, I think I actually have a question. Like, so when the price is in the 55 EM on higher time frame, and let's say you also have liquidation in that same area, what usually happens in those zone? Maybe they got liquidated, or we get some sort of reaction or absorption to the upside. You're on mute.
Yeah, we
Boris.
should, in theory, see absorption, right? Because these orders or all this liquidity, it's not clear whether this could be buy orders or this could be stop loss orders, right? So if these are stop loss orders, in theory, what should happen is bigger institutions should step in here at the 62K level, or bigger traders, and they should support price here at 64, 63K. So basically, you can view these liquidation areas as like areas of support and resistance. So think of this area as support. Basically, if we break below the support, we're heading down to the next liquidation cluster, which is, I don't know if I can actually zoom out that far. Let me go back. It's the 1 year time frame. Let's see. Yeah, so if we break below 63, what's next? Honestly, I don't know. This graph doesn't show what's next, but yeah, if it did, this would be helpful. But I'll have to use another data source for real longer time frame analysis. So yeah, I think that concludes my macro overview for this week. We talked about the news about US seizing Iran's Bitcoin assets, Bitcoin on the monthly time frame, Ethereum on the monthly, Bitcoin dominance, USDT dominance, and how this all fits into the macro picture. And of course, we talked about some key economic events this week. So that is my Macro Monday update for this week. And it's great that we're doing it on the 1st of June because I got to cover, especially the monthly timeframes. I think that was quite fitting. So,
yeah.
Any questions, Ayush, or any questions from the audience?
I think I have to refresh my YouTube, but I do have a question. Like right now we saw the liquidation chart of Bitcoin. Can we take a look at Ethereum as well, and match the levels we have on Ethereum? And
we could. Let me do it. Yeah. Good idea. Just have to select Ethereum.
Actually, that will also give us some idea there about the strength and weakness I use. So let's see how it goes for the liquidation map.
Gotta wait for this to load. And okay, here we go. I just have to change this to. And actually, we can even look at the liquidation heat maps for later on, for even like Doge, which is, I don't know. Sorry, reconnect. Yeah, there's not much I can do because I'm in a co-working space, so they promised me very fast Wi-Fi, but I guess they lied. So maybe I'll get my money back.
Exactly what I'm
having Wi-Fi issues.
I'm fighting the same battle here, of course. I understand.
Yeah, I see. I'm in a very professional space here. It's like this is like a professional office. I cannot believe that they do not have. Okay, I'll try reconnecting and see if that works. Yeah, 1 second.
Yeah. All right, everyone. Boris is going to join us soon. Before that, let me break down what I'm actually looking at on charts. And I see that we are at 1.69k subscribers. I think we are very close to 2,000. Yeah, I think we might reach today or tomorrow. Do it this week and make our first week or maybe first day of the month memorable. And let's take a look at Ethereum and Bitcoin. And I'm actually looking at the same level as Boris. And currently, the Ethereum is in the higher time frame support zone, and actually, that is also going to hold Bitcoin as well. And let me mark this support zone, and that's something which Boris also marks on his chart. So yeah, I think these both pairs are actually in a higher time frame support zone. So in this area, what we can do is maybe wait for closing below, retest and lower. And I think this is an area where we can see price action taking some rest, and maybe some decisions will be made. Let's see who is getting absorbed, who is really aggressive. I'm expecting buyers are still fighting this area, and once we get a really good sell order, I think everything will be absorbed and it will go lower, because I can't see any. And actually, by looking at and hearing what Boris shared in the beginning about the market and stuff, I'm not actually bullish for now, but we are hitting a very important level on Ethereum and Bitcoin as well. So this is an area where we'll see price taking some sort of rest and then continuing directly to 68,182. And that's my idea on lower time, higher time frame on Bitcoin and Ethereum. And let's take a look at Boris. He's back. We're not talking about Doge.
Am I better now?
You're same. You're floating, yeah.
Let me. All right, I will go ask the staff of this office space if there's a different Wi-Fi I can connect to. So give me a second, guys. All right. Yeah.
Okay. The screen is mirrored. Oh yeah, Boris. Sorry, Roman. Can you please flip my screen share? It's inverted. It's mirrored, like my cam. Thank you. Thanks so much for recognizing that. Yeah. Now we are good. We were analyzing the market. I think we would have been more profitable with that chart. But anyways, back to the unprofitable one. So yeah. So now actually, whenever I see Ethereum and Bitcoin in a higher time frame, writing back to front, whenever we hit higher time frame support or resistance zone in Ethereum, Bitcoin, I always have seen that I have to stay away from Dogecoin, because it will start ranging. That's the data I have from many months, that it is forced to trade when we are trading near higher time frame supply demand. So that's why let's take a look at cash and look at this pair doing absolutely fire on higher time frame. Look at this reaction we are getting from the daily support zone. Nothing, just a wick. Really good number of aggressive sellers coming in, but the passive buyers absorb them. And tomorrow we are going to go deep into candles, and I have really interesting things ready for you guys for Tuesday and also for upcoming streams. We are more going to focus on how to read supply demand zone properly with the wicks. So combining wick with some numbers and absorption and acceptance, and making it increasing the level of information we have in our model plus confidence. So look at reaction. That's the best way, just marking some wicks, waiting for price to tap in that zone. And I actually always know that, okay, now we are in the zone. I'm always ready to watch who is going to get absorbed. Look at this candle, it's really aggressive. Let's take a look at 4 hour. Look at this very volatile bearish tap, but the passive buyers, the limit orders in this wick. And if we Boris just explained about the liquidity heat map, that's exactly what I've seen on the lower time frame liquidation maps as well. Near the wicks, you will find mainly some order resting. Maybe it will something look like with a very weird color, maybe something like this, maybe in green color, obviously if buy, and red. But it is always good to wait for some candle confirmation. What I see always is some aggressive orders like maybe let me change the color to red. Yeah, 100 and 150, even though price is getting rejected. And you might be thinking, even though we have a lot of aggressive sellers in this area, why price closed above? Because of passive limit orders of buyers, and they always are maybe mostly present near the higher time frame wicks. That's why we get reaction from that zone. So that's the entire guide of how to use the higher time frame wicks and why I use it. They are not just wicks, but mostly you will see passive buy limit order, passive sell limit orders resting in that zone. All you have to take a look is absorption and acceptance and confirmation. And in this candle, you can see, and also the next candle will have some bullish aggressive buyers indicating price wants to go higher, So, and it exactly happened, and price tapped into this zone. Let me take a look at higher time frame where we are rejecting from on weekly. Yeah, this is where the most number of trade. I think I'm assuming this as a point of control. We are on the crypto chart. I'm afraid we can't use volume profile, but chill. I'm actually going to explain on Bitcoin Ethereum chart how to use order flow on lower time frame, so you can implement the same thing on Zcash on other platforms. So for now, it's Motivave, not MMT, but you guys will get same idea. And we have Boris back with us. I think let's see how his internet. Okay, his internet connection is not doing good. Continue with what we were talking about. He's back, and I think he will continue.
Okay, so can you guys hear me?
We are the same.
They connected me to the Ethernet cable it's a very complicated setup, but they somehow they connected me.
Now you're on mute.
So, oh my gosh. Oh, I'm good.
Okay, then it's from my end. I have to reconnect.
I have to disconnect
from it.
Do I have to just reconnect? Oh.
Yeah, okay.
While Ayush reconnects here, you wanted to talk about the Ethereum liquidation heat map, because we were talking about the Bitcoin liquidation heat map, and of course we could also look at the Ethereum liquidation heat maps. So yeah, if we're looking at the Ethereum liquidation heat maps, and look, this actually falls in line with some key levels. So you can see here, we tapped this liquidity zone back in April around 2,500. 2450, got rejected. And from there, it's just been like we've just been plowing through these liquidation levels. And right now, I think, yeah, the 2K level is about to break. I'm not gonna, yeah, we're below 2K. And the next cluster really is going to be 1866. So if I were a trader, I mean, God, what am I saying? If I am a trader.
Exactly.
If I were a betting man, well, I am traders make bets, calculated bets. All right, if I was going to make a calculated bet here, I would say maybe short Ethereum here to about 1850. I'm not financial advice, but it's just not actually, it's not financial advice. It's not financial advice, just my view on the market. And I'm not telling anyone to like sell their Ethereum or be short anything. It's just my view on the market based on the liquidation. What do you think?
But if we talk about the I think the liquidation levels on Bitcoin and Ethereum I think they are aligning both in the same level which we are going to tap. So I think I'm expecting price to go lower than 60,000 on Bitcoin. It will be obviously a dream come true for many people who wants to buy again, but I think not below than 60,000. These are the only swing lows we have, near 67,000 and another one at 58. Below that, I think it's not that possible. It might be, but yeah, that's, and also same on Ethereum, it's just this in between we have a lot of stop loss and maybe a limit orders and liquidation in this. Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm curious, like, how does this fall in line with your volume profile analysis? Is it kind of similar? I would assume it is, although you're trading lower time frames, so maybe it's a bit different. I don't know.
Yeah, I think you were lagging a bit, but now I heard what you said. So yeah, I think, and we also have this a lot of liquidation in the same zone as Bitcoin. So by looking at the chart on your screen, I think it is not about the strength and weakness now. It's more about the area we are trading in on Bitcoin and Ethereum. So I think we have same idea on both pairs, and we are about to tap in a very interesting area where we'll decide the next trend about Bitcoin. Is it going to hell or heaven? And I think we also have this trend line support, which I think Jonathan was talking about in previous teams and in the same zone. So yeah, this entire area from 72,000 to 60,000 is an area where we decide where market wants to go.
Are you bullish or bearish right now on Ethereum?
For now, on Ethereum, I'm actually it's in near support area, so we might turn bullish, because you know that I use this high time frame wicks as support zone, and if we take a look at daily time frame, you can see that exactly after tapping this zone we started ranging, and even now it is not ready to close below the monthly support zone, and we are very close to the liquidation area we have on your chart. So below that, I think if we close below, we'll have more data about the trend and stuff near 1850, maybe the swing low. So I'm expecting Ethereum to go at this level or maybe 1800, but not Bitcoin. I'm not really that bearish on Bitcoin. I feel I think I'm not expecting even the swing low, to be honest, on Bitcoin. It's really strong to be bearish, and even if it is, I don't think it will get the swing low. But yeah, Ethereum will.
Looks like we have
That's my view.
Anastasiia.
joining
Oh,
us
yeah.
in the
Hello,
network.
Anastasia.
How are you? How are the markets treating you so far today?
I had only one trade opening actually. I opened only one.
Let me guess. I'm gold. Or
Of course, on PAX. Of course.
Yeah.
On PAX. I had a short on PAX in the morning, and it was successful. I closed it slightly before the take profit. I'm gonna show now. Wait, no, my chart is sharing. So I had it here, and my take profit was here, and I closed it a little earlier, just because it was also like a couple of levels of volume, and I don't really trust PAX lately. So I decided to be very careful and close it in ahead of time. And since then, I was waiting for the reversal, so the bounce from this level, and I didn't take the longs yet because I was waiting for New York, and I was feeling like, it's I need a little bit more information. I'm really happy that I didn't take the long because it's been stuck consolidating since then. So in the best case scenario, I'll probably finish off and break even. In the worst case scenario, maybe with some loss. I'm really happy that I didn't re-enter this trade for a long afterwards. So yeah, that's the only trade for now for me, because the rest of the market is also really, for me personally, it's more of the consolidation than anything else. So how are you guys doing? What have you been trading?
I don't know. Honestly, I haven't been trading anything. I'm just analyzing this macro Monday with Boris, with myself. So we've just been analyzing Bitcoin, another Bitcoin, and other big coins on higher time frames, such as the monthly. And basically, we're kind of bearish on Bitcoin on the lower time frames, but on the monthly time frames, telling a different story. So, I'm personally looking at the 63, 64K level for Bitcoin. But it's the first day of the month. No new trades yet for me today. I'm just analyzing, and later on, I will potentially short Ethereum. I think Ethereum. I wanted to switch to AgriTrade because New York Open is in 25 minutes, and we're seeing some pretty heavy salt pressure below 72K. So I think, I don't know, we might test the 70K level on Bitcoin, because we are breaking structure here on the daily. So I'm thinking, we're below the 55 EMA on the daily, below the 50. We're below the 55 on the weekly as well. I think it makes sense for us to go down to this level, to the mid 60s, and eventually 63, where there's a lot of liquidity sitting. We also have the 55 EMA ribbon coming in there on the monthly. So basically, I'm looking, maybe not today, maybe over the next couple of weeks, maybe 10% move down to around 63K, basically going back to this range from February. I can't believe it, but we've basically been ranging the entire year almost.
Yeah.
Bear market. So what can you do? What you can do is go short, and long, this long hype and long TRX and long Zcash.
Not actually.
Which, by the way, we haven't taken a look at Zcash. Should we take a look at it?
Yeah, Zcash. I think it is forming. I'm actually going to talk like Jonathan right now, but we can see a head and shoulder pattern on Zcash. So I think you can continue to look at that. Do you see that?
I mean, on the
Also-
daily,
Yeah.
I don't like this. I don't like it. I don't like it.
So it's not bullish, right?
Let me see this actually head and shoulders pattern. Actually, we have. Well, this could also be a rising wedge, right? For target to $300. Because we just broke out of this wedge. So if this pattern confirms, and again, I'm not a big pattern trader, but these rising wedges, falling wedges, they do tend to work out pretty well, especially in crypto. Like I think in the commodities markets and equity markets, like they're not as useful anymore. But since crypto is so technically based, these patterns are more likely to work out than not. So yeah, bearish Zcash, target 300. Especially if you break below 500, this is where or 480, this is where the 55 EMA is coming in on the daily. So yeah, bearish on that Zcash.
And you can try it again. You can try it again. Sync. Like Alex. I think that's
Actually, Ayush, I forgot, we can take a look at the liquidation maps for Zcash as well.
yeah.
Tell me.
Yeah, you
I don't know
should.
how reliable they are because I don't know how much data we have to put. Let's test it out live. Okay, actually, this is interesting. So you can see how we pierced to this liquidity at the $560 to $600 zone. We got rejected here, and now we're falling to this cluster at 530. Yeah, basically the next big pocket is around $500, which falls in line with the 55 EMA at around 480. This does make sense to me. And actually, just going back to TradingView, we actually have two bearish patterns here. We have double top plus rising wedge. This funny. So the double top pattern would imply a bottom of 100 on Zcash, and the rising wedge status is awaiting. And again, I don't take this too seriously. These chart patterns on TradingView, they're just fun to look at. And then this other double top pattern status, you can see status here awaiting, price $90 below 100. So
Boris,
yeah,
I think we might see some alignment with your analysis. I'm actually thinking of price might fall aggressively in this low volume node, and we have your 55 EMA band in that area. So might get a good support in this area if sellers get exhaust in this zone and buyers absorb all the orders. What do you think, Anastasia?
I actually really
Don't trade Zcash.
I haven't looked at Zcash ever in my entire life, so it's not like in my screen for some reason stopped sharing. I'm gonna change now, but it's not something that I've ever looked at, and I can even tell you more. It's not something that I've ever heard before I started doing live streams with you. So this is how far it goes. My inability to actually give my opinion on Zcash itself. I approach crypto market a little bit differently, so I do look at the Bitcoin in the first place, and then Ethereum. And then only if I see Bitcoin and Ethereum picking up specific direction, then from there, I will be looking at the crypto market. The same as, for example, if Bitcoin and Ethereum will start going up, I will start looking at them first, then look at the dominance between Bitcoin and the rest of the altcoin markets, and then only look at the altcoins. So I'm following a little bit different logic, and if it comes to the daily intraday trading, I do pick Bitcoin over anything else.
Yeah, and just going back to package G, I'm assuming you're bearish, right? Long term, or medium term?
I'm not so bearish, in fact, because
really?
what we no, not really, because if you look at the gold futures, right, we actually perfectly rejected on Friday the area I was looking at. We talked about this area several streams in a row, so that was exactly what we covered. Like on many previous streams, I had these two areas of rejection, and both of them worked out. I think actually it's having an echo when I speak on someone's of your mom. Yeah, that's Boris.
That's Boris.
So I had these two areas from where I was looking for the price to reverse eventually, and we rejected both. So we had this reversal here, and then the price reached the bottom area and perfectly reversed from there as well, which I didn't use actually. So that's a little bit of a shame. Now we are testing the same zone pretty much. So I'm quite bearish until this level, I would say. And then from here, I would still say that I'm most likely going to look for their continuation back to the upside for PAX and for gold in general and for PAX including. So no, I'm not really bearish, if I'm going to be honest. Not really so much.
I would disagree. But as a swing trader, I'm kind of bearish on gold. At least on PAX2, because what I'm looking at here is the 200-day simple moving average. So this ribbon here, this is essentially kind of like a big macro indicator of basically any assets bullish and bearish. Like you can see here throughout history, like as long as PAX2 remains above the 200-day SMA. This is not an EMA, this is a simple moving average, but it's the 200-day, so this is very smoothed out. It's not as sensitive as the 55, but you can see we kind of like tapped the 200-day in November of 24, so to this big rally like, to the all-time highs. And then you can see here we tested the 200-day in March, so like 2 months ago. And this actually led to a pretty nice bounce in gold in PAX2 of 10%. And then since then, we've definitely lost this level. I think this level is technically broken. So, like on the daily time frame, I am just bearish on PAX2. And I assume gold futures will look the same. I'll just pull it up.
Guys, sorry to interrupt you both, but I think I have to leave second hour because I have some work to finish. We'll come back tomorrow with proper Wi-Fi connection because I'm actually changing it right now. So yeah.
Sure. See you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, and see you guys tomorrow with proper internet
Tomorrow.
connection. Yeah. Bye.
Yeah. It's actually talking about gold. See, now I changed my mind because gold futures are completely different. Like on PAX2, I'm bearish, but on gold. So PAX2 is not real gold. Gold future is the real gold. And according to this strategy, as long as gold futures remain above 4,400, I actually agree with you. I am bullish. So I changed my mind. Because as traders, I think we can always change our viewpoints very quickly.
Yeah.
Change my mind completely. I don't know why it's different. PAX2 versus gold futures. I mean, I would definitely put more weight on gold futures because that is way more liquid. There's not trillions, but billions of dollars of volume being done on gold futures. So I think this is a more reliable metric. Or gold. Yeah.
This is just normally where the majority of the volume comes from, So, and PAX2 is usually following basically the direction from gold futures, the same as XAU-USD, right? That's on the CFDs. So that's why I always analyze the futures market. It's a little different, obviously, for example, for Bitcoin, because it's just different exchanges, So different volume comes from different exchange. But if you have the primary asset, like for example, gold futures in this matter, then I would rely more on the gold futures instead of PAX-G as a primary decision-making point, you know?
Yeah, I agree. You're looking at like XAU, USD, which is CFD. It's also in line with gold futures. So, but we're getting close to the breaking point here. Like, I think if we go below 100, I think like 4K would be my target on gold. At the same time, though, if we can hold this level then and bounce from it, I think we can go back to 4850, 4900. What do you think based on your analysis?
No, I'm looking for the current moment intraday, to be fairly honest with you. And again, as I was saying before, in my opinion, it's for currently consolidating. So it's going to be depending on how we're going to respond towards this area again when we come back here. So for me, it's bullish from this zone approximately. And when we are back at this direction, this area here, then I'm going to see how it responds, because we had an attempt to close higher, which it failed. And then currently we are trying to go below, like once again to the bottom. So I would say, okay, this approximately here, this area is going to be interesting for me to see the reversal potentially for gold. And we are currently located below the point of control the previous month, current month in the contract. So for the moment, I'm mostly bearish, also not like 100% assumption, because we see the pullback. But if we go a little bit lower, yeah, I'm going to be looking for the reversal. And then if we get back to the top of the range, then I will see how it responds and make my decision from there, because I don't think in a long run, currently it's neither bearish or bullish, because it's going to depend heavily on how we respond towards the up like upper border of consolidation here again. Like, are we going to break it this time, or are we going to again bounce back from here, you know, like we did time, absorbing completely like liquidity. And the buyers tried, they failed this time, so I'm curious to see how it's going to be after.
Yeah, so I think we're pretty much in agreement about gold overall, even though we have like different styles. Yeah, I agree. And are you looking at like the correlation between maybe gold and the equity markets? Because again, equity markets are going up right now. ES futures are up slightly, pre-market open, and then we have US 100 is also going. Kind of going. Yeah, we're still on a trend on Nasdaq, although we're down compared to the ES, but like very slightly, like negative 0.13%.
Someone asked this, I think, one of the previous sessions was live streams, and it's actually, I never looked at the correlation. I've never looked at the correlation between the equity market and the gold over the years, because again, it depends. If you look at the macro perspective, of course, it has certain degree of the correlation, but it depends, I would say, on the macro perspective, on like what's happening and like which regime we are at, and it's not always the same correlation. So I don't look at it. Disturbs me the same as like looking at, for example, dollar. I did for a while, and I was testing this, and I figured that it's actually better for me to just focus on the asset that I trade, unless it's a very highly correlated assets. So for example, I figured for myself that I prefer looking at correlation between gold and silver, gold and copper, gold and platinum, to see where they are, like the rest of the metals, where are they compared to the volume? So are they bearish or bullish currently? And based on this, making my decision, am I gonna go a buy or sell, for example, at the asset that I trade? The same as, for example, if I trade, equity market, I'm gonna look at Nasdaq and S&P 500 and a Russell at the same time. And if I trade, for example, crypto market, I'm gonna have a look at Bitcoin, Ethereum and like, for example, at least, to see also the correlation from the perspective of the volume. So like this, I use correlation across the markets, crypto and equity market, yes. Gold, no.
Okay, that makes sense. I'm curious. So what are your thoughts on like those gold versus silver ratio? Because I know that's a very popular ratio for metals traders. Like, what are you looking at in terms
I didn't look at the ratio. It's actually very interesting what you look at, but I've never studied this, so I'm very curious to study this and to form my opinion on this, to be honest. But I'm actually moving my stop loss to break even for gold right now because I'm in a short again, and I just moved my stop loss to break even. Sounds
intense.
Because it was pulling back. It was pulling back like crazy. Now I'm waiting for the price to go $10 more down.
Oh, wow.
So whatever you trade, guys, if it's PAX, if it's XAU USD, for the gold, digitalized gold, I'd say it would be the same. So approximately $10 more down from where we are right now. I'm waiting for the price to be. So that's here.
Are you looking at any economic data this coming week? I know we have Friday is the most important for me as a Bitcoin or crypto trader. We have non-farm payrolls. Is this? I know this is big for gold as well, or do you not?
Yeah, for sure. Actually, if it comes to non-farm, I had a couple of years ago. I had a non-farm like live trading sessions. So they were called NFP, like from NFP. It was actually really fun. We were trading 30 minutes before the preparation, like short breakdowns of everything, scenarios, and so on. And the next 30 minutes, like live trading based on the volatility in NFP. After COVID, it changed a lot because Biden came to the presidency, the liquidity of the market crashed completely. And COVID, changed a lot, and they stopped the sessions. And because the market started, instead of like going one direction, it started to like do this and like stabilize somewhere in the middle. And I stopped the session. So now in the current, how the market is right now, I don't trade non-farm and I don't trade the day before non-farm. My maximum is Thursday early morning. And then after this, I do not trade.
So what are your expectations for this week's non-farm report? Because I was looking at some data earlier that said, expected job growth roughly 75 to 85K. Unemployment rate expected around 4.3K. And then for me, it's going to be the biggest loss. Like even for the week, I think this is going to apply for gold as well. Do you think what's going to happen if unemployment rate comes in higher than expected?
1 second, I'm gonna open some stats because I like this. I'm not gonna be able to say 1 second. I'm gonna have a look at some statistics and share this chart. In the meantime, my gold is going to take profit almost. Come on, gold. Chop, chop. It's 30 minutes. What I was waiting for when we were talking is like from the technical, and then I'm going to switch to macro and non-farm. What I was waiting for is gold because it started dropping. I entered short and then it started pulling back in between because there was volume coming in from both of the sides. So we had lots of volume here, lots of volume at the bottom. So there was a question for a moment, who is actually going to win, buyers or sellers? And I was like, I am not sure this short was a good idea at this moment because I didn't expect this volume to come in. And I was waiting if the price will be able to break through or not, and we broke through. And now there was even more volume, so now the price is trying to reject it as well, as we can see. So as long as we are below this cluster volume, it's for me it's good to keep holding short. That's why I keep holding it for the moment, because of course, yeah.
That looks like a great trade.
Sorry.
So what looks like a good trade for you?
Yeah, so we exited basically the VWAP of the day, and it dropped below the monthly, well, the weekly, today basically, because it's the 1st of June, right? Days point of control, and we broke the previous lows, we broke this volume. So we exited lower, and I took the short, and again, it was like break even, profits, small loss, and I was like, okay, it might just pull back now, because it actually touched my zone, you know, from the reversal. And sometimes my zones are like, it touches it peak to peak, and it goes like tick to tick and reverses. And I was really hoping that it's not gonna just V-shape like to the upside. So the moment it started dropping more, I was like, okay, stop loss to break even, and I just let it be.
So do you have like a final take profit, or are you just gonna keep holding it and ride the trend?
No, I have.
Okay.
So I'm managing some capital now, and not mine, but like other traders. And I don't want to risk it. So on my account, I will let it run on another one, but on main take profit for me is going to be this level here. So it's like $9 more, $8 more lower. So this level here. Actually, why is it one little bit more still? 59. Yeah, so a little bit lower. The reason being is there is a disbalance on the delta. So from here, delta started to rise, so there was more asks coming in. So this level is normally under the buyer's control, so the price might reverse from here, and there below is the volume from the previous week as well. And that's why. And also, if you look at the zone, the price was reversing from the zone already multiple times before. So I'm going to be waiting for the reversal from approximately the same zone for gold, more or less. So this is the final target. This is the plan.
Wow, it looks like it keeps dropping, like even as we're talking.
Yeah, it's slowly dropping to my target. Slowly, So this is on 5 minutes. There was more volume, even more volume coming in. That being said, it's actually the bearish volume, which is good. This is buyers. This is sellers. So this is more sellers. So it's trying to, there is some profit taken probably already. So it becomes a little more dangerous to keep holding this. More buyers. Yeah. Let's see. It's a very short-term thing, you know, so it's scalping. So I'm trying to pay attention to this. This is why sometimes on the live stream, you know, it's a little bit more difficult to talk about macro and other assets. And when I have this, because it's not the same as a swing, because it's the same, but a little bit shorter period of time, or much shorter period of time.
Yeah, and actually, the New York session is just opening. Like I see some volatility coming in, both on your chart, on gold, and also even in crypto. There's a lot of price action happening now. What are you thinking for the first minute of this open here?
Let's see. We're below the value area low of the previous 30-minute candle. And it's trying to drop towards my target. I'm trying to stay patient because when it's like super close to my target, because 99% of the time it actually hits it, and because of it starts to pull back lower, like a little bit closer to this target. I made a lot of the times I close it manually before, and then I don't collect like a full profit, which I'm trying to fix now. But at the same time, it's New York opening, so. There is more asks. There is more asks coming in. I think I'm closing this, to be honest. Yeah, I'm closing this. I'm okay.
It's kind of the opposite on Bitcoin right now. Like, again, it's just 1 second chart, but we recently had some big buy orders coming in, like literally in the last 20 seconds. Like, there was one 4 million on on OKX, someone bought 4 million on the USD swap contract. But overall, it's like a mix of. Overall, I think it's pretty zoom out.
Yeah, I closed it. I closed my trade because there was a whole bunch of imbalances on the ask side on the 5-minute candle that is now forming. And yeah, it's not closed yet, but it's actually, I closed it and it would be going now further up. So this is a 5-minute candle. This is a delta, so there is more asks coming in. It still might go down, but I wouldn't be regretting closing it because we have the majority of the imbalances on the ask side within this candle, which is showing the activity of the buyers. We already had the mixed previous one, 5-minute candle, and now we see that the price is trying to rise back because there was more buyers coming in on the market opening. So honestly, even if I actually would hold, like even if it would now drop to my target, I wouldn't regret closing it earlier because, well, it was very, very tight and very, very close to my final target here. But the chance was that I'm gonna lose my profit completely and it's gonna go to break even again. So I closed it. I'm out of it.
Yes. Okay, I see. And you were talking about like imbalances before. Can you explain what exactly, what is an imbalance and how does that affect your trading? Because I don't personally use like imbalance. Like I know what they mean, but maybe to the people at home who are like new, what can you explain?
It's depends on which imbalances we talk about, because like in smart money concepts, like a lot of times people talk about imbalances from a different perspective, like order blocks imbalances and so on. In footprint, it's very easy. Let me just change. Here, if you look at the footprint, right, how it's distributed, the footprint is always distributed. On the left side is bid, on the right side is ask. So the aggressive, like the orders that were filled by the bid, the orders that were filled by the ask. Now the footprint is always read diagonally, like this. So like this basically. So if in a matter of one footprint, if the number of bid, for example, is at least times lower than asks, in my case, it's normally should actually be set on 300, but I think it's 150 for the gold. No, 300. So 300%. So it's at least 3 times higher than. Why is it highlighting this? I have no idea, because it's actually a mistake. But it should be at least 3 times higher, like here, for example, than the amount of bids. So here, 12 bids, 37 asks. So if we look at the disbalance between the bid and ask diagonally, it was 300 more, 300%. So 3 times more asks than bids. And this is highlighted as an imbalance. It's basically the overload of amount of bids or asks the diagonally within the one footprint candle, depending on where the footprint is. So which time frame we are looking at. In this case, it's 5-minute time frame, but it can be something else. Like it's gonna be more or less of those within a candle. If it comes to how the price responds, usually if the price is going down, we will see majority. Let me just switch to range XV charts because it's going to be a little bit more clear here. Should be normally. 1 second. If the price is going down, we will see mostly the imbalances on their bid side. For example, here we had lots of bid imbalances. So on the left side is bid. Price is dropping, we have imbalances only on the bid, right? Majority of them are on the bid all the time. When the price comes to the point of potential reversal, we start having majority of the imbalances mixed, both on the asks and on the bid side. At this point, I might start considering closing the position because the reversal might happen. Might not, but might happen. I also look at the different other metrics, where is the majority of the volume, but it's one of the signs that it's not 100% anymore on my side within my bias. Okay, so, and then when the price starts going up, there will be a majority of the imbalances on the ask side. So currently we have a very mixed footprint, right? We have a very mixed imbalances on both of the sides. So here is on both asks and bids. Here is both asks and bids. Here was both asks and bids. And here we had only imbalances on the bid, on the bid, on the bid. The price was trying to go down. Bid imbalances, mixed imbalances, and now the majority of the imbalances are on the asks. On the asks, and now again mixed because the price started to stall. So that's how it works in a very short explanation.
That was a very good explanation. And do you also use this can you use this on Bitcoin as well?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, no, you can, but I need to actually see on which on Binance, or because there is a Bitcoin futures as well, right?
Yeah, so I'm curious, like, would you use Bitcoin futures? How would you measure this kind of like, or can you combine everything somehow? Is it possible?
Yeah, 1 second, maybe. We'll see. This is Binance, so that should be more than enough, actually. There is a lot of volume here. Bid and ask, delta colored, here we go. So there is more than enough volume to see actually their imbalances inside, because sometimes even on gold, it works less than, for example, on super liquid markets, like, for example, currency futures. So 6E, 6B, ES, and Q, for example, stock index futures. So on gold is a little less, but on crypto, on Bitcoin, it looks perfect, actually, to be fairly honest with you. So there is more than enough. We see, right, the price was here, the buyers were trying to step in, but there was divergence between the direction of the candle and the volume within. So this is one of the short scenarios that I can take within the footprint when the price is dropping despite the activity of the buyers. So within one candle, the price closed bearish, although we had more buyers coming in aggressively. And the next footprint, if we look at it, we will see already fully negative imbalances. So we only had imbalances on the bid side. So after this, we can also take like a short-term sell. So it's good for scalping. And it's also good for, if you look at that, for example, I'm not like always scalping. Sometimes I take longer trades depending on the setup, but because gold is now ranging, I'm taking the short movements in between. Normally, I prefer if it goes in a trend. I enter, I let it run, I re-enter, I add more volume on the pullback, I let it run, I add more volume on the pullback, I let it run. So it can be like a couple of days of a trade. But now, because we have a range, you need to figure out something in between. So even if you look at the like a little longer trades, it still helps to pick up like a reversal point, add to your positions within a trend if it's already running, to confirm that, okay, the trend is strong, so I can add to my trade more volume. And also figure out that if it's, for example, overall target, this is one of the first things that you can look at when it comes closer And like sometimes it doesn't hit your target with just like a couple of ticks. So this, to prevent this, it's also a really good tool. Yeah.
It's really interesting. Like, I never used footprint charts. It looks actually very intimidating to me.
Crypto futures?
No, just the footprint charts in general. They look very. I'm sure they're not as complicated as it looks, but you explained it very well. So it's just another, I guess, tool you should take a look at.
Yeah, it's.
We have some comments here. So.
When I first look at it, I felt like my brain is gonna explode and I'm gonna have smoke, like coming out of, because I was like, what is this? I've been 5 years looking at the candles, but what is this?
I kind of feel the same way. Like, I don't. This is very scary to me. I will have to do some deep research on these footprints in the coming weeks.
Yeah, we can actually have a short course recording now for Tradeify crypto channel for YouTube, so it's gonna be about footprint as well. So
yeah, I don't throughout the whole YouTube crypto sphere or crypto Twitter, whatever you call it, not too many people use footprint charts, so I think this could be a real edge actually.
Yeah, it's picking up the popularity, because a lot of the many years people were on this ICT and the smart money concept and twist versions of this before it was many indicators and all of these kind of things, and fashion shifted, and now everyone is coming to volume and footprint and then AI also, and now there is a wave of AI bots and programming AI bots, and everyone is trying to do this. So, but it's just, the thing is, you just get one step closer together with flows, for example, that you look at, you just get one step closer to what is actually happening right now in the market. And because of this, it helps, I think. Yeah.
I'm in a co-working space and there's a guy who's shirtless, and I was concerned about being unprofessional by wearing a tank top. Very interesting people on this island, because I was telling me, Boris, I bet Boris can't wait to move to Europe, LOL. And yes, I cannot wait to go back to civilization.
Yeah, so how long are you staying still in Bali?
I'm leaving Thursday night.
Oh wow, so you're coming to Europe?
Yeah, I'll be streaming from Europe starting next Monday. I don't know. I'll try to make the Discord session this Friday. I'm not sure if it will happen, but definitely from Monday I already have my setup and good lighting and good connection, and there's Amazon in Europe, and shouldn't have any issues. So I'm very much looking forward to that. To answer Glenn's question. Yeah, proper internet.
Where in Europe?
I'm going to Granada, Spain.
Granada in Spain?
Yeah.
You're kidding me. It's 3 hours from me.
Where are you based? Barcelona?
Marbella.
Oh, Marbella, nice.
We should do a live stream, literally live stream. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
it can be fun.
We could do it. Let's ask. We're gonna ask Tradeify if we can do this. What else do I want to cover today? You know what? Let's go over Bitcoin ETF flows.
Yeah.
While we're still doing Macro Monday with me. I didn't cover Bitcoin ETF flows. This is important. Roman, if you can switch. Yeah. So Bitcoin ETF flows. What's concerning here is that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We had 10 consecutive days of outflows on Bitcoin ETFs. So this is a bearish sign for me. Again, this makes me think we're going to go below 70, retest the $63,000, $64,000 area, basically the monthly 55 EMA. So when you're talking about Bitcoin, the Bitcoin ETF flows a month and a half ago, they were looking more bullish, but now it's just it's completely flipped to the downside. I think just based on everything, we're going to go lower on Bitcoin. Also, there was one question about Ethereum long. Let's see.
What was the question? Can't really see
someone
it in the
was
chat. I'm checking.
Wait, Boris, what about
Yeah.
long now to 2001? Let me see what you're looking at. Let me go back to my trading view. Flowing back to 2001. I don't know sir. Why are you? Can you explain more? Why? What about the flowing to 2001? Are you longing Ethereum to 2001? It's an interesting number, 2001. Okay. So are you like, the setup I see here is that we have many wicks here on the 50-minute. So maybe you went long from 1970, 1965 and targeting 2001. I guess it could work. Probably target 1990. This makes so much sense to me. I think 2000 is going to face some heavy resistance. Because we can actually go to the Ethereum liquidation maps, and I think that will paint a picture here. Let me go down to the lower time frames. Yeah. Okay, so what I'm seeing according to the liquidation maps is there's some support here at 1960 on Ethereum. And actually, if you're long from here, yeah, the $2001 level could work out for the $2000 level. To answer, what's this guy's question? What's the guy's name? Jitender Singh. Well, that's what I think about Ethereum. Jitender Singh. Sorry if I'm probably not pronouncing your name correct. Let me see. Let's go back to Bitcoin. It is, I don't know, good. We have a good balance of buys and sells here on the order flow. Looking at but oh my god, this is bugging. The 15-minute chart on Bitcoin is very bad. Like we broke this level at 72,400. I'm trying to find what the next level could be here. Yeah, this thing looks like it's just ready to. This thing, when Bitcoin is ready to continue going lower. Let me see if there's any chart patterns here. Yes, there's a little bit of a head and shoulders pattern on the 4 hour. On Bitcoin, let me go back to real candles. Yeah, actually, I don't know, Anastasia, do you believe in head and shoulders, or you're not really a pattern trader?
Funny enough, it's the only pattern that I do use.
Really?
Actually, yeah, it's the only pattern that I use. Like the same as here, for example. This is the reason I didn't go long, because it was kind of like a head and shoulders here. Like this one. And that's why one of the reasons I'm looking for the reversal, besides the volumes, is because it's also like a huge head and shoulders here. However,
Here's the actual pattern that trading view is painting. So we have our left shoulder here, head, right shoulder. I don't know if this is even correct the way you were speaking this, but it has a target on Bitcoin at around 66. Actually, 66,000. Status is awaiting. Let's go to the rectangle pattern. Yeah, there you go. It's better. Interesting. Then I think on the daily, there was some kind of pattern as well. It doesn't rising much pattern that people were looking at, which is now starting to play out. Let's see what's happening on. So, has the head and shoulders pattern been pretty reliable for gold trading or for PAXG?
Yeah, it's been, but it's actually been for pretty much anything for me. And regarding, for example, Bitcoin, I have that in a channel. So for me, based on my previous analysis already, it's still looking within a channel. And like we are right at the bottom of this channel, and we reached my target for shorts finally from the last week. I closed the break even because it was I don't remember anymore why, but it reached my target from the last week and this week's and this analysis as well. So I am actually expecting some reversal to the upside from 71k, 71.7 where we are right now.
So you're expecting a reversal here.
Yeah.
So you're bullish.
Yeah, I'm kind of bullish. Like short term, locally, I'm quite bullish actually.
I mean, I'm not bullish, but maybe short term, perhaps.
Short term, maybe I'm just expecting some kind of bounce. You know, I'm not really maybe bullish, but yeah.
Well, where are you expecting? Where are you expecting the bounce at this zone? Trying to look
72 and a half, 73 maybe. Okay. 73 and a half. Not like a giant bounce, you know? Nothing crazy.
Yeah, it does look like on the 15-minute time frame, we are a bit overextended. To the downside, I wouldn't be surprised to see a bit of a bounce here on Bitcoin. Maybe even it's happening now, getting a lot of buy orders coming in on Ayush trades. Even from Coinbase, we got a $1 million buy order. It's pretty interesting. I usually don't see Coinbase pop up on these,
no, not really. Which exchanges are there usually?
It's usually Binance. So Binance has the most orders. So OKX sometimes Bybit.
Bybit?
But then if you scroll down, I think this is like the first time I've seen Coinbase have a big order coming. And keep in mind, this is spot. So someone bought 1 million in spot Bitcoin on Coinbase, which is unusual, which is interesting. Yep. So maybe we're gonna bounce it, like he said. Is this this tool, it basically aggregates 16 markets. So we have Binance futures and then also Coinbase spot. Actually, this is displaying a lot of interesting data. But I wanna, I guess we have 5 minutes left. I'm very concerned about, let me switch my tab here. Looking at the NASDAQ here, but we've been pretty much, I don't know how to call this, like parabolic run up ever since, the Iran war started or ended, or I don't even know what's happening anymore. It's just been going straight up. We got some brief consolidation here. But look how much room we have, to go down here. Because if we get it's a matter of when we'll get a pullback, but there is no like support anywhere between the so this is the ETF, the QQQ. Let's actually look at the Nasdaq. I think that's gonna be a better read. So on the Nasdaq, there is. I'm gonna show this out. Like the next big support area for me is the $26,000 level. So I'm looking like at a potential 14% drop on the Nasdaq.
14% you are looking for.
Yeah, because like I don't see any areas of support. Like maybe this area, this cluster could be an area of interest, but I think bigger traders are going to be placing their orders here, trying to buy this previous highs from basically like this December 2025, January 2025, before the whole Iran situation started. So, and I think this will be not good for Bitcoin. Obviously, it's kind of like a negative correlation between.
So if we take
Bitcoin,
half a year, for example, let's say, of Bitcoin, like what are you expecting in terms of the price? Or like 3 months? Let's make it easier. 3 months.
3 months. Yeah, good question, because I was discussing this earlier in the show. This was recording. Let me switch my moving average here. So we're talking about the 55 EMA. So this ribbon basically served as a good marker of support and resistance, and basically Bitcoin's bearish and bullish cycle. So essentially my thought or my analysis is that as long as Bitcoin can hold this ribbon, well, it's 55 EMA, it's not the ribbon, but as long as we're above here, above 64,000, then there's a chance Bitcoin could bounce here. But it's just, it's a monthly candle, so we'd have to wait like a month to see this candle complete. But, I was telling Ayush earlier, if just going through Bitcoin's previous price history, if we start falling below 63,000, this is going to lead to a move down, like what happened in May of 2022. Like once we broke below it, this led to a move down of 28%, maybe 30% from the time that we broke the 55 EMA on the monthly to the bottom. So let's just do the same math here, and let's say it's going to be another 30% drop if we lose this level. This is going to land us at Bitcoin 42K would be the target if we apply the same kind of logic. And keep in mind, Bitcoin hasn't really fallen below the 55 EMA, and it only happened once since the COVID. Like in COVID, we did wick below it, but then we did recover. We shot to the all-time highs. Well, not the all-time highs, but the all-time highs back in 2021.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a key level, and there's a lot of liquidity here. I think, I covered this earlier in the session with Ayush and explained, how Bitcoin tends to interact with this 55 exponential moving average. So I will be watching this level closely along with many other traders. So I think that wraps up my thoughts on the market, because I'm getting kicked out of my office because it's 10 p.m. here and they're closing the office. So I think we need to wrap it up here.
In Spain, we have the office 24/7. You can work yourself to death if you want.
Yes.
Okay, guys, thank you so much. Boris, thank you so much for your insights. It's amazing, honestly, to see different perspective as well, from trading. And 42, I'll keep it in mind when I will want to buy the Bitcoin for the long term. So thanks a lot. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. And we'll see you back tomorrow for our very special sessions as well. So make sure that you like, subscribe, and we'll see you back for our next live trading on Tuesday. See you guys. Boris, thank you so much, and good night to you.
See you guys. Safe trading. Bye.
Thanks.